How you doing? Let me adjust this camera real quick. Mr. DJ back in the sock off years. That's right. Outsourcing Billboard's Hot 100. We're in 1961 now. Let's go back to Billboard's Hot 100. Excuse me. Number of November 18th, 1961. Going back, let's say, this is 2000, this is 2016, about 55 years ago. Let me give you the top 5 hits from that week. Tower of Strength by Gene McDaniels. The Bristol Stomp by the Dovells at number 4. Number 3, Full Number 1 by Brenda Lee. Run Around Sue by Dion at number 2. And Big Bad John by Jimmy Dean at number 1. Let's get into the last 45s, although this was a pretty substantial hit. Rick Nelson, Ever Loving at number 16 that week of November the 18th, 1961. Rick Nelson, Ever Loving. 1961 started out strong for Rick Nelson. There was Traveling Man, Hello Mary Lou, and then he came out with Wonder Like You. Traveling Man and Wonder Like You both of those songs were written by Jerry Fuller. Jerry Fuller, who later became a producer for Gary Puckett and the Union Gap, produced hit records by Gary Puckett like Lady Willpower and Young Girl back in 1967, 68, 69. But he wrote those songs for Ricky Nelson, Wonder Like You, and Traveling Man. This particular record, though, Ever Loving, was written by a guy named Dave Burgess. Dave Burgess put out a version of his own recording, and you can find that on an album that came out in 2003 called The Lost 60s Recordings. So there's some jams right there. Lost 60s Recordings. And also, Robin Luke recorded a version of this record. Robin Luke, you remember that song Susie Darling he did back in 1958? He came out with a song a couple of years later. It was called Well, Well, Oh, Well, Oh, Well, Oh, Well, Oh, Well, Oh. And on the B side of that was his version of Ever Loving. But it was Ricky Nelson that had this hit version with Ever Loving. It peaked at number 16 on Billboard's Hot 100. It was on Billboard's Hot 100 for 10 weeks back in 1961. It's the legendary Rick Nelson, who's put out about 36 albums, 91 singles. Rick Nelson.